It's time to conduct an experiment.
All right, hello everyone. It's time for some pen science, some nib experiments. And for this, I can't use my faulty and failing human hands. I have to use this robotic arm here. Now, I've used this once before in a video, and I think it's time to use it again. Basically, here's the premise of my experiment and what we're going to try to determine today. First of all, this robot arm here is the AxiDraw V3, and I've already tested it out a little bit, as you can see here. A little preliminary testing. Basically, what I've done is I've ordered 3 identical pens, 3 Kaweco Sports, in very colorful colors. They look like candy. And I chose this pen for a couple of reasons. First of all, because this pen ships with a cartridge of ink in it, which is good because that's one more control we have in our experiment. That way, all 3 pens we use will have the exact same amount of ink. I'm just assuming that every cartridge they ship has the same amount of ink. So we have the green pen here, the blue pen, the pink pen. And then another difference between each 3 of these pens is they each have a different nib. The green pen has a bold, or B nib. Can you see the tiny B right there? The blue pen has an M, or medium nib. Actually, the B might stand for broad. I keep getting mixed up on that, but it's big, okay? It might as well stand for big. And then the pink pen has an F, or fine nib. Incidentally, this pen I've been doing the preliminary tests with has a EF nib, which is one size smaller than the F, but I'm going to keep it to just 3 pens for our experiment today. I think we can take our conclusions from these 3 sizes and extrapolate it to EF if we really wanted to. I just think that EF probably would, here's my hypothesis. We put the ink cartridge in the B, the F, and the M nib pens, and we let the robotic arm draw and draw and draw until they run out. And it should happen that the big nib draws the fewest lines. It runs out of ink first, the medium nib next, and the F nib should draw the farthest, the longest lines, right? What I've done is I've used Illustrator to fit 200 10-inch lines onto one piece of paper, and that's what this robotic arm is going to draw. It'll also put down little number markers for every 40 lines. So it'll do a little number 1, 40, 80, 120, and 160, and 200. So you kind of be able to see how far it's made it. Granted, having the machine draw these extra numbers with the pen will use up a little bit of ink, but they're all going to be doing that, and it's it's within the margin of error, which sounds like a scientific thing to say, so I'm going to say it. Right? So each sheet of paper will have 200 lines on it, 10 inches long, which will be approximately 166.6666666666 feet, which is about as tall as Niagara Falls or the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So that's what happens on each page. Then after each page is full, I'll take the page off, probably number it manually, and then put another piece of paper down until it's all full. I'm just using regular printer paper here. So without further ado, we're going to start with this green one here. I'm going to pop this in here. I think that was a good pop. Solid. Let me give it a squeeze. Now, I think this is going to be blue ink, which, it doesn't really matter. So, all right. It's working. This is the big, bold, broad nib. This is one of the first fountain pens I ever bought, this EF dark green Kaweco Sport. And I like the Kaweco Sports. I like them a lot. If you're looking for a nice, a good fountain pen at an affordable price, Kaweco Sports, I think, are a really good option. Plus, they fit in your pocket. All right, big guy. Let's get you buckled in right here. It's tight, but not too tight. Bring it up here to the origin. So as you can see, all right, the line's 10 inches long. Then I'm going to get a fresh sheet of paper. There are a lot of things that could go wrong with this experiment, but we'll put out those burning bridges when we get to them. What do you say? All right, and see, now I have this program here open in Inkscape. There's an extension for the AxiDraw. You can adjust the writing and drawing speed. I have that at 33%. The pen up movement speed at 100%. So I'm just gonna start it and see what happens. All right, a little bit of a hiccup there on the first line, but now it's doing the numbering. This is a very bold line compared to the other ones. Pretty annoying sound. I don't think I'm going to be sitting in here in this room the whole time, but I'll get some footage, come check on it. Oh, I should time it to see how long one page takes. All right. All right, first let's talk about some of the things that went right and wrong with this experiment, some of the hiccups, and how I dealt with them. First, I noticed that drawing all of these horizontal lines on the paper was making the top and bottom of the paper curl up. Just something about the ink maybe making that part of the paper contract a little bit. So I had to reevaluate my tape placement several times, and I knew I needed a piece of tape on the top, and I had it on the sides. Eventually, I ended up putting the tape on all four corners, which seemed to work best. Also, on the first sheet, with the first pen, the bold pen, I noticed that about halfway through, there was some skipping going on when I was pretty sure it hadn't run out of ink yet. There was some lines that weren't drawing where it should be, and my suspicion was that this is because maybe there wasn't enough weight pushing the pen onto the paper, which you do need a little bit of weight with fountain pens so that the nib tines spread just a tiny bit, so that there's some capillary action so that the ink goes down and onto the paper, right? So what I did was I just grabbed something off my desk, which happened to be a little Zippo lighter, used a rubber band to attach it down there to the end of the arm, and that little bit of extra weight proved to be effective, and I didn't have any more problems with the lines drawing from there on out. Each page took about 20 minutes, and I would just set my timer on my phone and go into the other room and watch TV. And sometimes I would even notice, but right before my timer went off, I would notice that it was done just because I would hear the noise stop. And it was kind of nice because it felt like I was getting work done without actually having to do anything. Like I had hired an assistant that didn't need to be paid. I guess I did pay for it up front when I bought the machine. But I guess that's, I don't know, not making a video with it, the investment paying for itself. I didn't run into any other problems besides the pen skipping that once, and once I figured out where to put the tape, everything worked really well. All right, so let's look at how many sheets and how many lines each pen did, and then we'll do a little more detailed conclusion, a little recap. All right, so the first pen, the bold one, the big one, did 1, 2, 3, and 4 sheets, giving out on the fourth sheet. Okay, the medium pen did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets, giving out on the sixth sheet. And then finally, the fine pen did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sheets, giving out on the seventh sheet. All right, hello everyone. So let's do a little recap here, a little conclusion. We've seen how many sheets each pen or each nib did. Let's try to make sense of the results, shall we? Here's all the papers I did. You can see that the way they like to roll up on the edges here. I guess that is because, even though I was taping them all down, they all like to kind of curl up the same way. I guess maybe because of the ink or something. I'm not sure. You can see here's the part where the pen was skipping before I loaded the head of the drawing head down here with the Zippo. Because really the only weight besides the pen is this little part right here, which doesn't weigh very much. So it just needed a little bit of extra help. So it all worked really well after that. Here's the final page of the bold pen. It looks kind of nice, actually, the way it kind of peters out. Also, an interesting thing I noticed pretty soon on is that as I was putting the paper down and taping it, if I really pushed hard with my finger or left some grease from my fingers, you know, because we all have like natural oils and liquids seeping out of our fingers or whatever, for whatever reason, it really makes me... Anyways, the pen would draw lighter in those areas. And on one of these sheets, I experimented with that a little further. Also, you can see the comparison here between a bold and the medium lines. This sheet is definitely a bit darker, huh? Let's compare it with fine. Check it out. Here's the bold, the medium, and the fine lines. The bold is definitely a lot darker. And seeing that the bold is a lot darker and that the medium and the fine are more similar to each other kind of makes sense with the numbers we've got. All right, so the bold did 4 sheets, and if we look at where it kind of gave out, I would say it did about 720 lines total. I've got the numbers here. Of course, that means if there's 10 inches per line, that's 7,200 inches, or 600 feet, or 183 meters. 600 feet total from the bold pen. Now, if we look on to the medium pen, it gave out around here. I'd say the last page has about 100 lines on it, given where it gave out. So 5 full pages plus a 6th page with 100 lines. That's 1,100 lines, or 11,000 inches, or 917 feet, or 280 meters. That's just over 3 American football fields, including end zones. So take 3 of those, put them end to end. This pen with the medium nib could draw a line longer than that. It's also just over the length of the Hindenburg Zeppelin. R.I.P. This one is even more picturesque. This looks like a kind of like a nice little horizon. Like here's the sky. Maybe this is like the water. The way it's very nice little gradient here is what I'm trying to say. So we got 6 pages there. And then looking at the fine pen, this one lasted 1 page longer than the medium one. Almost to the end of that one, though. Based on where this one ended, I'd say we have about 1,375 lines, or 13,750 inches. That's 1,146 feet, or 349 meters. That's just over the height of the Eiffel Tower, and almost long enough to draw the whole circumference of the Eye of London, that huge Ferris wheel in the middle of London. So, pretty long. So basically what I've concluded from this is that fine gives you just a little bit more than medium, but fine did almost give us twice as much distance as bold. So there is a big difference between bold and fine, but not as much between medium and fine. Now I am starting to wonder how much more of a difference extra fine would give, but maybe that's an experiment for another day. There were a couple of other things that could have thrown off our measurements a little bit, but like I said, this isn't a super exact thing anyways. Like if you look at some of the edge of these papers, before I started taping down the corners a couple times, like the corners would curl up and then the pen would rest on the corner there and it would lose some ink, but I don't know, that's not very much. Also, of course, all the numbers it wrote here, but once again, they were all writing the same numbers, and I'm mostly doing this for fun, so I'm not going to submit this to any scientific journals or anything. Not too worried. I do think it's a little bit interesting how if you look at a page like this, the second to last page drawn by the fine pen, it looks like there's almost ridges. Do you see this? Like maybe every 10 or 15 lines or so, it's like there's like a little set, like a little gradient. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it's like darker to lighter and then darker to lighter. Can you see those little waves going down the paper? I'm not sure what causes that. Maybe it has to be something to do with the AxiDraw machine, right? Also, I'll say I'm very pleased with AxiDraw. It gave me no problems. It didn't start to like overheat or make weird noises or anything. It's good enough. It was also a good test for this machine, right? I'm excited to try to use this for more stuff in the future. I even left it on all night. I came in here in the morning and there was still, it was like idling or something. There was like some little motor like, zzz. I left it on for like 10 hours just overnight by accident, and it still seemed to be doing okay. So I'm pleased with it. I am. So let me know what you think about this experiment. I'll try to put all the numbers that I got from this, how many sheets, how many lines, inches, meters, etc. I'll put all that down in the description if you want to look over it yourself and draw your own conclusions. And thanks for watching, everyone. I think this is a fun one. Let me know if you have any other things you think I should do with the robotic arm. I've got some ideas of my own. We'll see what happens. All right, bye.